Hey guys, good to see you again. We're gonna work on a weapon this time, and I managed to get a few items which I found online, and I'm thinking that we should make kit bash. So we're just gonna take elements from different swords or weapons and kind of make our own. So why only the AI can do this? Can't we? Are we not allowed to? Okay, great. So with that in mind, I have downloaded a few of these images. Some of them I already scaled inside Photoshop. Okay, so these two swords I scaled up, and I'm planning to make like an angelic sword, but instead of these elements, I'm just thinking of having a seraphim in here. For those who don't know, a seraphim is an uh, higher angel which has typically is described in the Bible having 6 wings, and seraphim means fiery one. Okay, so we're going to take a few elements from this word and this word and this word. Okay, first thing first, we want to upscale this. This you can see is 177%, so that makes the image quite small. We want to increase the image size. So if we click on that, you see we get this image here, and I'll put 1000 one before the rest, and that would scale both the width and the height. Also, we can be sure that resample is enabled, and we can pick something like preserve details 2.0 and reduce noise, something maybe 100%, as you will have these edges slightly cleaner in this area. Okay, that's that. I scaled it up, so now you can see it's we are, let's see, now we are 100%, 110, so that's good. By the way, I'm using Alt and middle mouse and Control and middle mouse to navigate. And I think which one was it for zooming in? Yes, Alt zoom in. Anyway, just experiment. Gonna use the lasso tool, and I want to take this, I think it's called a pommel. I want to put it on our sword here. I'm gonna use this as a base. So I'm just gonna do that. I quickly, you don't have to be really, you know, tight on these shapes. I just more or less Control C, and we go here and we press Control V. Now we can move this element. We have a new layer. We can use Control T to rotate this. Okay, something like this. We can use, I think Shift. If we use Shift, no. Shift and Alt is going to keep the ratio and constrain it in the center here. So that's what we want. Okay, press Enter when it's done. So again, Control T to rotate, Shift to snap, Alt and Shift in the same time to scale it up and keep it in the center. So that's one. Now we want to go to the other one, and maybe yeah, take the angel. This is going to be a longer tutorial because this is quite complex. It's you know, the geometry is a bit, and I don't have to, on this one I don't have to be that tight, because this sword is a this image is a PNG, and I use Shift to add to my selection here because I missed a few things. So it's a PNG with the transparency, right? So we can use this. Then we use Control C, and we go here Control V. This one, it needs to be you know, a little bit bigger. but should work for now. And let's see if we can fit it in here. Yeah, something like that. Maybe even bigger. We just need to look at the overall aspect and the ratio and how it looks like. Um, looks like, yeah, something like that. Now we have these two, but the color are a bit different and they're not fitting very well with this one. This one is more saturated. Just want to reduce the saturation on these two layers. So we can add an adjustment and use this hue saturation. And I want this hue saturation to affect only these two layers and not the background. So I press Alt and click here and on this one. So I have basically the hue saturation affecting these two layers and not this one. Let's try it out. You can see, okay, something happened here. Affecting, let's see. Yeah. So if we do like that, only once, and now you see it's affecting only this one. I think we might have to put them in a folder and this one affect the folder. Now let's see if it's working. Yeah, now it's working. Okay, so a few steps back, I selected these two. I created a folder for them, a group, and I added this hue saturation and I use Alt and you get this icon and you click. Once that is gonna be applied only to this group and not the background. Maybe there's another way of doing this without adding them to the group or something. So just trying to get slightly yellowish towards green and less saturated and maybe slightly darker, maybe. Yeah, I don't think I need to put them both because look at this. This is different. So I'll just pull it out from the group. Actually, not this one, this one. So this one is going to be, it's going to have its own hue saturation. Okay. So slightly darker, slightly less saturated, like that. Zoom out, look a bit from afar. And what else? I don't know about this. What's gonna happen with these things here? Okay, let's add another adjustment. And this one, it needs to be applied only to layer one. You can name them. I think it's very good if you just name these things. Yeah, for some reason. Oh, I think it's in the group. That's not good. Kind of messed it up here. I don't want it in the group. I just want it above this layer. So I just, with that selected, hue saturation, and this selected only apply to this layer. Let's see. Is it working now? Yeah. Make it darker and change the color to something more yellowish. Anyway, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we just need to get the idea in there. Okay, now I'm going to make a new layer here on top of my background, And on this layer, I will just paint on this. So we remove these things here. Okay, so first we need to pick the color with Alt click. And I just need to get my opacity flow 100%. And I'm just using the mouse here. Nothing, maybe opacity is too high. Let's just reduce it a bit. So we just have different values. Just clicking a lot here. And we can just remove that. We don't even need the background, but I just use Alt and right click. Alt and right click and dragging up and down is just gonna adjust the hardness. Alt and right click going to the left and right. It's just going to adjust the opacity. So I just gonna pick colors from different places and just basically painting on top. Okay, yeah. We can keep going with this, but for now we just want to start getting into the modeling phase rather quickly. So maybe just a little bit of smudge. Let's try going in this group. We have this one, and just going to use smudge. Maybe we can put a gem here, or if we have enough space. Let's see how it goes. This one. We can also reduce a little bit the opacity, basically just trying to delete some parts. Yeah, I think it should be fine. Okay, so now that we have our concept, more or less, we save this. I'll just export it as a PNG. Kit. Let's call it Angelic Sword. The one.